Excited to get back out there. We're obviously in our fourth week of fall camp here. Got through a scrimmage on Friday night at almost the exact same time as a Western Illinois game 2 weeks out from it, so thought it was a really productive day. Getting some of our guys back. Matt Bailey was out there full go today. He was fresh. It looked really good. Starting to get some of those linemen back. Got McMillan back. J.C. Davis is out of the boot. Well, he's out of the boot half the day, so he's moving around looking good. I think we get him back as early as maybe Thursday or Friday, so feel good about him. Brandon Hanson came back as well, so we were down 5 or 6 linemen. Everybody's back except for, I believe, JC. So super excited about that. Also want to say thank you to the students who's going to get announced later today. I think we were about 3,800 my first year here, and today we sold out at 8,500, so we've more than doubled it, and obviously a couple weeks out from our first game. So super excited. Thank you to the students. Thanks for everybody. I really like this group, the way they work. I mean, I pushed them out there today pretty good. They responded very, very well. We worked some situational football, worked some tempo against our defense, which was as fast as we could go, and what we expect some of our opponents to do. So that was good prep. And at the end of the game, or end of practice there, we literally played an end of game play with 2 seconds on the clock, similar to like the Kansas scenario a year ago. So some really good situational football. I like the way our guys are responding. I like the way our guys are coaching. So we'll put this one to bed later tonight, have a good meeting tonight, and then practice tomorrow as well. So these 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll have a mock game, and then we'll jump into full go preparation for a week out from Western Illinois. So excited about that. With that, open up for questions.
Some good and bad things from the scrimmage that you liked?
Yeah, in the first scrimmage we didn't have any balls on the ground, and there was one. It was really, I think, important for us to see it and feel it. Threw the ball around pretty good. Obviously, anytime there's a good play on offense, there's something bad on defense, or vice versa. If there's a good play on defense, something happened on offense. So it was really good learning. It was good against good. We didn't go one-on-ones live, but we went ones, twos live for everybody. Everybody in the building scrimmage that could scrimmage. So every player, offensively, defensively, played.
Brett, JC being out, any concern about him at all? And what have you learned about your tackles beyond him?
Yeah, well, it was concerning because we had Aiden out, we had Melvin out, we had JC out, and it was before Des Schuster came back. So I'm not concerned. JC hasn't been cleared yet, but every indication they think he'll be good to go. It was good to get those other guys back out there. It was absolutely critical, but a guy that's been a pleasant surprise for us is Des Schuster. He had the injury surgery, so we didn't have him last spring, and he's looked really good at right and left tackle. We've been swinging him, so that's a nice surprise. Brandon Hanson has also been a very nice addition. He's been playing out there at tackle. Brandon Henderson could, but he's been making good progress at guard, so we kind of want to keep him there.
Any update on LZ? He was back out. How's he looking so far with the hamstring? Just how's he look?
He actually scrimmaged Friday as well, so he was out Friday, out there practicing, and then today he's out there. I know he had a couple nice plays. We did an open field tackle drill that he ran, looked pretty good in. So I was excited to get him back out there. Trying to think of anybody else offensively that came back that wasn't going, but we've been full go with him. So Ashton Hollins was full-time scrimmage the first time because he had the double surgery a year ago. So it's good to see some of those guys get reps. Caden Fagan got reps, got tackled. He hadn't been hit since he got injured in the middle of the fall last year. So him and Aiden Lawford both got good reps. I tell you, Cedric has really been a guy that's looked pretty good as well.
Khalil Valentine was in the green jersey.
What's that?
Khalil in the green jersey.
Khalil Valentine, yeah, he actually got a concussion last. It wasn't a scrimmage, like maybe the day before, Wednesday or Thursday. Not real bad. He's almost cleared. As a matter of fact, today I think he could go through contact, but it had to be initiated by him. We couldn't hit him, so tomorrow he should be good to go by Wednesday.
Brett, can I ask about the NCAA had sanctions on Michigan? What have you thought about that punishment?
Honestly, I knew I had a couple people reach out to me wanting to comment. I said no. I'll take that one and pass. I've obviously spoke about it before, but what I am excited about this new day and age of college football with the new commission and everything. I always feel that these type of moments bring about an opportunity, and people pay big time attention to that. So I can't even tell you what the punishment was. I just know it's sanctioned.
What excites you about Pat Farrell, especially?
Pat, ever since he got here, we recruited him as an outside backer. His body has grown, developed. He's a long guy. He reminds me a lot of a player I had at Wisconsin by the name of Patrick Buttram, kind of same skill set, kind of a similar skill level. So, yeah, super excited. I would say him and Eli have been a really nice addition. Tommy is playing as good as he's played. James Thompson had a really good productive scrimmage. Kurt Neal looks good inside. Angelo McCollum had a really good scrimmage. I thought there was some stuff up front against our one offense that looked really good.
So we spent so much time in this camp talking about wide receivers and kind of finding that new one. You talked about Colin and Hank at length, but who are you seeing maybe rise up beyond those two?
Yeah, I would say by far Murphy Clement is, I would say probably in the last 10 days, Murphy and J-Bo have both, in my opinion, taken a big step forward. And then without a doubt, though, too, Captain Jones, I think, has played his best football. It was good to get Malik out there today. He's a big body that can run, caught a nice couple balls. So I'm really excited about that group. Another guy, Rio Sanders, probably after practice 4 or 5, made a couple nice plays. And to see him getting his mojo, he's probably literally might be one of the fastest players on our team. So to get him out there is pretty special.
You met
Cody Hudson.
Yeah.
Hudson Clement.
Oh, I'm sorry. Murphy Clement, we did move to offense. Yeah, he did the running back. So that's been one. Yeah, Hudson Clement, Clement brothers.
Any more clarity on kick return? Is that starting to?
You know, if I was a betting man, I would say Khalil Valentine would be probably our starter. But Hank Beatty's looked back good there. Rio looks good back there. There's a couple guys that have continued to be very impressive. Aiden Lawfrey always looks good back there. But I would say between Hank and Khalil and also Mac Rusetic, but that one's still a little bit open for take.
What have you noticed about like the offensive line as they come in and out and they rotate and the communication, how they just work together?
Yeah, well, it starts up inside. And I think Josh Cruz is, just everybody says he's another coach on the field. He's almost better than a coach because sometimes players see things faster than coaches because they're out there and in it and they feel it, they hear things. So to have him out on the field with the work experience he's had has been really impressive. Actually, Friday night I had a set number of scrimmage plays that we were going to do, and he was begging me to go another set, but I just kind of knew that we've been playing pretty clean and pretty healthy at that point. I felt we got some good work done, so we didn't do it, but he's a guy that begs for more reps every day.
What did it mean for Luke Altmaier and his journey to be named team captain, voted team captain?
Yeah, we had 4 beat guys, which I kind of thought those guys might, but I think on both sides of the ball, I think obviously Luke Altmaier and on the other side, Gabe Backus, just another great. Both of those guys respectively have grown so much from a year ago in leadership, and I knew it meant a lot to Luke. He was actually the highest vote getter. He got the most votes of anybody on our team, so that said something to me because there's a lot of defensive guys that voted for him too. The way we do it, if you're on offense, you get to vote for 2 on offense and 1 on defense or special teams, and vice versa. So for all 3 of those guys on both sides of the ball, no matter what breakdown, offensively, defensively, or defense voting for offense or offense voting for defense, they all 3 got the categories in every vote. So I know it's a consistent vote, so it means a lot. And I think Luke, the presence he's had, and when he spoke after he was named, you could tell it meant a lot to his heart.
How
It
has
seems
he
like every
grown
year
as
there's
a
a
leader?
point in camp that you reach where guys just want to hit somebody with a different colored jersey. Have you seen that? Guys kind of
Well, I saw that day one.
champing at the bit, ready to play?
Yeah, I mean, our guys are pretty competitive, coaches too. So, yeah, there's that camp feel, but I think to get into prep has been good. Luke with leadership. Luke is very. I've always said he's an intentional person in what he does. Like he'll grab somebody and take him to lunch, right? He'll grab somebody to go to dinner. He'll sit by somebody in a meeting. I think that's the part he's grown. He knows it doesn't have to be just one-offs. He can do it to the whole team, and to have that presence and awareness, and also in his room, I thought was a really big deal.
You
Big
mentioned,
Ten-
you did want to travel 74 to kind of be cemented a little bit after the second scrimmage, but are you seeing more competitions that's going to make it hard?
Yeah, we kind of, even a week ago Sunday after the first 8 practices, sat down and kind of, said, okay, where are we at? Who are we going to rep here? Had some guys who were injured, so we had some more guys come into it. But yeah, we kind of, I would say on Sunday, after the scrimmage on Friday night, we graded on Saturday, worked through it, and then Sunday we kind of had a set, okay, this is what we're getting done this week and who we're working these reps. So it's not quite 74, but it's definitely in that realm. And then also, special teams, I don't want to rep a bunch of guys that we're not going to have with us. So, to play the home game against Western Illinois, but, you kind of have to, that's a 74-man roster goes to our hotel too. So even though it's a home game, we treat it like a travel game.
There's another younger defensive line I wanted to ask you about. Jeremiah Warren talked about just Johnny and Keith really took him under their wing. How have you seen that in him, and what does he give?
It's been fun to see Biggs get out there just because he was injured this spring, right? He couldn't get out there, so he's got fresh legs. He's kind of have the ability to do a little bit of inside and outside for us. Very athletic. Him and Angelo, I used to kind of think they're the same, but Angelo's more of an interior player, and Jeremiah's more of a defensive end type. So, yeah, he's got some bursts athletically. He's very smart. He's very passionate. Yeah, it's been fun to see him have camp, and there's some good competition going amongst him. Unfortunately, Demetrius John got a concussion too, so he scrimmaged really, really well, but unfortunately he's out with us for a couple days. So, but him and then also Eli has been a very impressive guy in camp.
When the Big Ten Network comes in, you talk to them. What stands out about your program to DiNardo or the Big Ten analysts?
Probably a question for them. You know, I just really enjoy those guys. Coach and I have gone way back, right? Like I knew him before I actually started working at the Big Ten Network. Obviously, Howard, obviously with his son in the building with us here, and his former player has always been around us. So to have those guys, Yogi was a new guy to it, but those guys they saw me first off when I was at Wisconsin, right, and then to come back. And actually, when I was getting a job here, I called those guys just to kind of get a feel, and I reached out to Howard and Jerry DiNardo just to kind of help me, you know, get this job and this opportunity. So I've kind of had a great relationship with those guys for a long time, and I really don't ask about what else is going on at camps, but they always talk about the functionality of our camp and the purpose that we have and the way we teach, and I think that does jump out to people.
There was a report yesterday that some executives in the Big Ten are talking about trying to make an effort in order to expand the college football playoff, get it to maybe 24 teams. Any comments on that?
I'd be all for expanding. I know it was reported, but I don't know. That's out of my pay budget. But I would say, you know, the idea of what we went through this year, jumping into 12, was absolutely awesome. Even if we doubled it, I could see a lot of value in just keeping the end of the year that much more. I mean, people are excited about here, but really, I was lobbying for the playoffs, but I knew we weren't probably going to be in it. But all of a sudden, we would have been in that conversation, obviously, with 2 or 3 games left, and that just makes everything better. So I'd be excited if they took it up.
Brett, talk about good teams stop the run. How do you feel like you guys have grown in your run defense this year? And what do you think maybe were some of the hurdles?
Yeah, without a doubt. It's always usually my biggest concern coming in is just, you know, how we're going to play live tackle football against the run. Passing game, we get a good look at it, but we do have some new bodies up front, so you don't know how those guys are going to respond. But I like our edges. I like our inside backer. Even though he hasn't played a lot here, James Thompson and Kurt Neal played a lot of football. So some of these new guys, you know, to get off and make a play is going to be a big thing. But I like where we're at.